Hello and welcome to CarNewba Detailing, your premium detailing experience. A professional detailing studio providing you, the consumer, enthusiasts, and professional detailers alike, high-quality detailing services, education, and content. If you enjoy connecting with industry leaders, how-tos and reviews, and business-oriented podcasts, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and most importantly, enjoy. Hello. You know who it is, Zaya from CarNewba Detailing. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. We got a pretty cool video coming along your way right now. We're going to be going over kind of one of our entry-level types of coatings and paint corrections to this BMW 340iM. So I really hope you enjoy. There's going to be a lot of voiceover, so that means a lot of me talking. So if you don't like my voice, too bad, deal with it, or hit that mute button, or just don't watch the video. That simple, guys. But let's go ahead and get jumping into this video. As you can see, this BMW is brand new, 2020, but it does not look like it. It is filthy. I don't think this guy has ever washed a car. I don't even think the dealership has ever freaking washed this car, but obviously they have, because there's a lot of swirl marks and defects that we have to go ahead and deal with. And by the way, this vehicle only has 320 miles on it. And you saw even after our pre-inspection prior to the wash that we had a lot of defects already around the vehicle. But let's go ahead and jump into the decom process. We're going to start off, of course, with our wash. First thing that I like to do anytime we're doing a ceramic coating service is take off that license plate so you can get it nice and clean behind there and go ahead and properly polish that area out. After that, I break out my handy dandy pressure washer, and of course, we're going to start off with the wheels. Go ahead and grab whatever brushes you want. I don't care. Grab 50 of them, 2 of them, 1 of them, none of them. It doesn't matter to me. Go ahead and use what you would like on the rims. I'm going to be using just a few brushes along with a brake buster to go ahead and break down all that brake dust and brush it and then rinse it off. Pretty simple, guys. Pretty easy process. And fun fact, did you know that brake buster contains rust inhibitors? So you are actually adding some form of protection to your rims and your calipers as you're cleaning them with brake buster. Moving on to the next step that I like doing, which is going ahead and softening up those bug guts on the front fascia, mirrors, and front windshield. I'm using HyperClean's B, great product. You'll be seeing a video review of this product sooner or later on the channel. I spray it down, I let it sit, and I just wait for a few moments, and then I go ahead and rinse it off, and then continue with the pre-rinse on the rest of the vehicle as well. Pretty simple, guys. Pre-rinse, I'm just trying to knock down as much dirt and grime off the vehicle as possible before we go ahead and foam it down or touch it with a microfiber wash mitts. Next thing I grab is my foam cannon, and in fact, this foam was so good that YouTube didn't allow me to show it. I'm just kidding. I forgot to upload the footage for my iPhone, and I deleted it, so it is what it is. After we foamed it down and did a 2-bucket wash method, we go ahead and dry off the surfaces of the vehicle. I love using the Master Blaster, a great new tool to my arsenal. And then I go ahead and clay mitt the surface. Remember, this is just an entry-level coating detail for this vehicle, nothing real fancy, so we're not breaking out legit clay bars. We're just giving it a quick clay with our clay mitt. Any type of defects that we're putting into the paint with the clay mitt, we are going to be removing with the one-step paint enhancement process that you'll see in just a few moments as well. After I finish deconning the vehicle, I go ahead and pull it out of the wash bay and move it over to my light strips where I go ahead and perform my paint correction and coatings at this moment in time. Something that I personally have to do in my shop location is actually squeegee the floor after each wash. I do not have a centralized drain in my wash bay, sadly. My drain is in the corner of the shop to where my sink is, so I do have to squeegee the floor. It does take a few minutes out of my day, and it does get kind of irritating when I'm doing 3 to 4 cars, but it kind of is what it is. Besides that, guys, let me show you the products and tools we're using. We got our scan grips, our Rupes Millet. Do not mind the anime stickers. Moving on from there, we got NSP Z1 from Dr. Beasley's, the polish we're going to be using, microfiber towels, and also Dr. Beasley's Nano Resin Kit, our 2-year coating. Besides that, guys, I'm wearing headphones for this. I got my Audio-Technica Bluetooth headphones with a lot of Arizona sweet tea, my favorite drink, period. Looking for sponsorship, Arizona, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then we also got what I like to call the foo-foo, all this stuff that you see with a lot of coating manufacturers nowadays. And also, lastly, our polishing pads. Because this is an entry-level coating application and just the paint enhancement, I'm not exactly doing a full kind of test panel. I'm just going to what I think will work best and then do a quick inspection on the paint as well. My customer did have a budget. I do charge by packages, but also the amount of time I'm putting into the actual vehicle during paint correction. So I kind of worked out a good medium between the coating application, the paint correction, also the complete package for my customer within this price point. But as you can see, we do have some areas that we have to address around the vehicle either way, and Z1 from the NSP line from Dr. Beasley is going to do a great job when it comes to that stuff. Something that I also like to personally do is dress my tires and also seal the rims prior to the paint correction and everything like that. I do this because I like putting 2 to 3 layers of tire dressing on my customers' tires. Number one, you're going to get a lot deeper gloss and shine if that's what you're looking for. And number two, it lasts way longer. I've had vehicles that I have dressed with 2 to 3 layers of PNS Shinol in this scenario, and customers come back like 3 weeks later and their tires still look amazing. And personally, I love that on my vehicle, so I want my customer to have the same experience as well. I go ahead and dress the tires, and then I go ahead and use a wheel cover. You can pick these up from Harbor Freight. They're like $15 to $20 for 4 of them. I put that wheel cover on the wheel after I dress it just to avoid any dust from the polishing compound or dust in general sticking onto the dressing while it's still wet and curing onto the wheel itself. After that, guys, I go ahead and prep my pad and start the polishing process. Again, we're using NSP Z1, which is a primer one-step type of polish. This polish is actually a coating all in itself. It provides anywhere between 10 to 12 months worth of protection, great water sheeting and water beading ability. So you can actually just go ahead and perform a one step on a vehicle with this stuff, let it cure 24 to 48 hours, and get almost a year's plus worth of protection with it. That easy. But we're going to go just a level above that and actually apply a coating over it. And the great thing about this stuff is you do not need to use any type of paint prep or solvent after you're done polishing the vehicle. You could just go to your coating application, so it saves you a lot of time when it comes to your polishing and coating process. The reason why we're able to do this with Dr. Beasley's NSP line is because there is no organic substances in the NSP line. Everything is inorganic. So the ceramic coating is able to properly bond to any type of residue that's being left over from the polish. Obviously, you have to buff the polish residue off, but you do not need to use a paint prep or anything of the sorts. You're still able to get great cut, a great finish with the stuff, and again, no paint prep required. This completely eliminating a step from your coating process. And on top of that, has awesome gloss, awesome shine, and also adds to the durability and protection of your coating application, so your coatings last even longer than what they are rated. So technically, even though I'm applying a 2-year coating to the vehicle from Dr. Beasley's, you're probably going to get a lot more than 2 years after this application is done with Z1 from the NSP line. And again, Z1 isn't only part of the NSP line. You have their compound, medium cut polish, and also their finishing jeweling polish as well. I did do a video review of the rest of the NSP line. You could check it out. Link is in the description below. We went ahead and completed a beautiful Camaro Z28. Those polishes are great to add to your arsenal. I'm sure you'll enjoy them, and I got great results. You could see the results in that video in the description below. Besides that, guys, we're breaking out the Nano Resin Kit. Again, this is a 2-year coating if properly maintained and taken care of. And as you can see, Dr. Beasley's presentation is spot on every single time. I actually like leaving this box with the applicator pad inside my customer's vehicle so they can see the actual product we use. And also, after the applicator pad cures, they have an idea of what's actually on the vehicle surface and what is protecting their vehicle as well. Just a little bit of pizzazz after you're done coating a customer's vehicle for them, just to add to the experience overall. But anyways, what I am applying right now is actually the base coat for the actual coating itself. This is a primer to the coating. This is setting the anchor points for the coating itself. It is creating anchor points throughout the panel for the coating to have a better curing time and also better adhesion to the painted panel or whatever you are applying the coating to. So this is a super important step. Spray it on the panel, wipe it in with the applicator pad, let it sit for a moment or two, and then you would buff off gently with a microfiber towel. There is a little bit of streaking. That's no issue whatsoever. Try to get off as much as you can, but if you do have a little bit of streaking here and there, that is no issue. The coating will still properly bond and dissolve that streaking essentially and give you a perfect finish after you're done with it. Nanoresin is a pretty simple coating to apply. I do recommend, if you haven't used a ceramic coating before, not just to jump straight into nanoresin. You do have to make sure you follow the step-by-step process, working panel by panel, and also keeping note of the humidity and the climate that you're in. All these coatings on the market, guys, are affected by humidity, and the cure times are affected by it as well. So you want to make sure that you're taking note of humidity, temperature control, and all that stuff in your shop location or in your garage, and you're picking a good day to go ahead and coat your vehicle. I feel like people just jump into a coating application not preparing for it, and that's why people run into a lot of issues such as high spots and issues buffing off and things of that nature. So make sure just to prepare yourself throughout the day and take a lot of time throughout your day. Take your time with it. Don't rush. I like to go ahead and do big panels because I've been doing this a lot, guys. I've coated hundreds of vehicles, and I know where the limits are when it comes to the coatings that I'm utilizing. So I'm very comfortable with it. I understand if there's temperature, higher temperatures or higher humidity, how far I can go with the 3x3, 4x4 sections or whatever panel I'm working on. So I understand the limits of each of the coatings I'm using in my shop location. And that's also something you need to take note of. For the people that are jumping from coating to coating, product to product, and not really understanding what they're using and dialing it in and mastering that product and tool, it becomes an issue after a while. You have to take your time with stuff. If you don't like it right now, try it a few more times and see how you feel afterwards. The reason why I love trying out new products, guys, but at the end of the day, I do stick with specific ones just because I know their limits and I know my limits with that product as well. I have tons of products from different manufacturers all over the shop, and that's good. You need to try out new things and have different things because not every manufacturer is going to have everything that you need. But at the same time, you can't be jumping from compound to compound, polish to polish, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to master that product to the point where you find its limits and also master your craft with that product as well. Perfect example is M100 from Meguiar's. Super old technology, non-diminishing abrasive, dusts like crazy, but you know what? At the end of the day, I have mastered that compound to the point where I know its limits. I know the amount of cut I can get with specific pads on specific paints, and I can basically predict the results I'm able to get most of the time. I'm not going to say all the time, but at the end of the day, you're able to predict a little bit when you do have products that you've been using for a while, pads you've been using for a while. So it's always good to have stuff that you're familiar with around the shop. Besides that, guys, I go around the whole vehicle, obviously, and coat it. I only coat the paint and headlights. Nano resin doesn't really go well on plastics, and obviously you're not going to put a ceramic coating on glass unless it's dedicated for glass surfaces, but you will notice an amazing increase in shine, slickness, gloss, and something that I have noticed compared to other coatings on the market, depth. The nano resin lineup from Dr. Beez's gives your paint a really deep look, kind of like a freshly waxed car, rather than that artificial kind of glass look from most coatings on the market. But you be the judge of the results and tell me what you think in the comments below.